Barnstable is an artful community. From the seasonal music on the town green to the dedicated art educators in our schools to our beaches. Channel 18 brought you the stories that warmed your hearts and opened your minds. Enjoy the best of 2018 arts and culture.
We have a very special art program at our school, which is fabulous because the kids get to experience all types of art. The town supports the art. I've never known a public school where the art program is supported as well as we are. And they have many possibilities of what they can explore. And the facilities are pretty amazing. The ceramic facility is better than many colleges. So when they leave us and they come back and they say, I didn't know how good it was. I didn't know what I had. And I think that that's pretty amazing.
Art and Applied Technology, our department has that title because it incorporates what would be considered like traditional arts, painting, printmaking, drawing, sculpture, along with more technical, almost like engineering aspects. So we have a shop for fashion design, we have a woodworking shop, we have a ceramic studio, we have a film studio with digital media. So it's sort of encompassing what you would traditionally consider, art classes, along with what we call applied technology.
The students learn many things by doing art. One of them is how to problem solve and think creatively. And I think that's one of the most important skills that they can take away. Because as we know, not all students will be artists when they leave the high school, but the skills that they learn will carry them through their life.
If you look at the basic process of the basic scientific process, the scientific method, and then you look at an artist's method, they're the same process, but usually with a different objective. So if you're solving an engineering problem, you have a really specific problem that you're trying to solve, but the way you go about it is you have a hypothesis, you try some different experiments, and then you analyze, see what happened, and then you repeat the process over and over again until you find a solution that's durable and that works. If you're an artist, you're not trying to build a bridge that's going to hold up cars necessarily, but you're trying to solve an artistic problem, a problem of expression or of aesthetic, or a problem of communication. Those are kind of your objectives. But the process is the same. You have a hypothesis, you try a bunch of stuff out, you see what works, and then you repeat the process over and over again. So it's a creative process, a process of inquiry and discovery and repetition, usually, to get a good product.
So in woodworking, we have to spend a lot of time talking about designing and proper construction techniques. So we'll spend a lot of time talking about joinery. We want things usually be symmetric or to a certain scale. For example, this table was made a little bit smaller than a traditional coffee table on purpose. It had to fit into a certain space. It was designed for a certain area. And the student had to spend a lot of time figuring out all the different joints, how we were going to attach this bottom shelf to the rails, and designing all of that. So there's a lot of pre-work that gets done. So all the students in class are required to do a drawing with a list of all the materials they're going to use before they even begin construction. We figure out all the joints, and then after that, then we finally get the wood out and start trying to make our product. So there is a lot of pre-planning, and then in the end of it, after it gets all done, there's a lot of time spent finishing. So, I mean, there's a lot, and that's the boring part of woodworking, the sanding and the finishing work, but it really makes a huge difference in how the product, the final presentation of the product.
It's not usually the product. These aren't the products for me. The students are the products. So the students will surprise me, and after seeing a number of students make things that that are at a certain level, certain quality, sometimes really surprising, excellent quality. That's great, and we love to show off the objects, but the students are the real product. And having the students have the experience of going through the process of making work, of deciding what's important to them, what they want to show off and how they want it to be shown off, and then being able to explain themselves to an audience. Can they talk to somebody, tell them what they did and why they did it in a compelling way? That is the most exciting thing for me. So like students that, like we have a student who has had 2 different shows at the high school where she had her own openings and she handled her own press, and she taught classes basically. They would bring their class down, Caroline would talk to them about her exhibit, and she taught the class. And so she was, that experience, having her have that experience under her belt, doesn't matter what she goes on and does, that's going to benefit her. The same thing with, I'm thinking of another student who was, I think, a little shyer and more reserved as an underclassman. And now she has presented her work and her ideas to the art department staff. She's explained her work and why she's taking criticism. She's talked in front of larger groups about her work out in the community. And she'll be doing it again in front of, let's see, I think the Rotary Club coming up. So that kind of opportunity for the kids to make something, but then bring it out there, put it in front of an audience, see how they respond to it, explain themselves. I think that is, there's huge value in that. The kinds of students that the classes attract vary widely, and the reason the students are in the classes varies widely. So at Barnstable High School, the students have a number of different options for what classes they can take. So when they're a freshman, I think that they have 8 different introductory level art classes that they can take. So they can take wood shop, they can take fashion design, they can take digital media, they can take animation, they can take ceramics. We have a wide variety of different classes that they can take. Students take them for different reasons. Sometimes they're taking it because that is their absolute passion. They know at that time, they're like, I think I really want to do this. This is something that I want to do. I want to go to art school, or I want to go to film school. Sometimes they're taking it because it's an interest of theirs. They have always been interested in it. They've seen other kids, upperclassmen, doing something, and they're like, oh, I'd love to take that and be involved in that. Other times, they are looking for a good solution for their art requirement. They have part of the requirements for them to get a high school diploma is they have to take an art-based class, and that could be art or music, but they have to take a class. So they are looking for something that will fit that interest. You know, like that's one of the nice things about having the variety is because it's a requirement. They're not having to take one class. They can pick from a variety there. So they're there for a number of different reasons, and the paths that I would consider successful are really varied. There's some students that take one class, an introductory level class, they enjoy it, but they move on, they do something else. That can be a real success. If it opens their eyes to a broader world and another way of looking at the world, then that's a success. But we also offer them the opportunity in all those shops for them to take year 2, 3, and 4. So they can really get a deep knowledge of whatever that discipline is, if they so choose. That can be another path for success. That can be something that they want to pursue as a career, but it can also be something that they want to pursue just because it's an interest of theirs. And they really enjoy it, and they want to incorporate it into their lives. So I would say that there's many ways for the students, many reasons for them to take the classes, and many ways for it to be seen as a success, in my view.
When my students come in, Ceramics 1, they have never experienced it other than maybe making a pinch pot or a small coil pot in middle school. So they see that they're not limited in their scale. They're trying to explore all the various techniques of hand building, and they get to throw on the potter's wheel. And it's wonderful when you see them connect to what you're teaching them and sort of fall in love with what they're doing and say that they love coming to class and they look forward to it. It makes their school day.
Anyone can learn to draw. Anyone can learn to paint. You can make it super linear And you can paint a photorealistic painting, anyone can do it, literally anyone can do it. But you have to have the patience and the belief that you can go through the steps and the repetition and the practice that it takes to get good at it, just like anything else. And so that the students who struggle with repetition and with practice, the technical side of painting something that's realistic might be really difficult for them. Just like anywhere else in the school, practice, repetition, attention to detail, organization might be a struggle for them throughout the rest of the school. Art does allow you other avenues for success. So you can paint something photorealistic, but you can also paint something that's expressive, that its objective is not to look just like a landscape. Its objective can be different. It can be trying to do something different, and a student may excel at that. The student that struggles with the photorealistic painting might really excel at a found object sculpture and really make amazing connections with what this object could be. Because oftentimes our brains are good at some things, but they're not good at all things. And we could be really good at making connections and at making associations, and not as good or need more practice with organization and with repetition and with practice. So I think a good art room offers all those students an opportunity to succeed and to practice the thing that they're not good at. I think you should be asking the students to do both.
If you look at the work that we have here, it is all unique and it's very expressive, and all types of kids from many different factions of our community come in and are exposed to the same thing no matter who they are. And if you look at the work, it's just amazing that kids in high school are doing work that is often like college quality. And I'm always impressed with the students and what they do.
I did mention earlier, this is only my third year working at Barnstable, and I think the art department at Barnstable is amazing. I mean, the full ceramics, the digital arts, the TV, all the different studios, you know, the traditional fine arts classes. So the seamstress work. So there is a wide variety of artistic pursuits offered at Barnstable High School. I mean, it's a very big school. I think that's the advantage. You have such a big school that you can do lots of different things. And I think Barnstable's done a nice job of having a little bit of everything for all students in the arts. So it works out very well, in my opinion.
Barnstable High School is an amazing little community. And it's a diverse and eclectic and different group of people with all different backgrounds. And in the art department, we see everybody in the whole school. They all come together in the art department because they don't get, you don't end up having separating people out into honors or AP or these different delineations. Everybody takes the same introductory level class, and everybody has the opportunity to take it again and again all throughout their years there if they choose to. And that is a gift to us as teachers, and a gift to the community to be able to see all the different parts of our community together, and working together in the same room, sharing their ideas and sharing their work. So that's one of my favorite parts of the job.
Delaney Drake, beach supervisor at Calmus, is more than just a beach supervisor. We got a hot tip that she does so much here at the beach for kids as well as adults. Delaney,
Hi.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So we got a hot tip from our town manager that you create all sorts of different collages and do a lot of arts and crafts kind of things to make people's day here at Calmus. Tell us a little bit about some of the collages that you've created here at Calmus.
Okay, sure, yeah. So I've made a couple of different ones. I have kind of one side of the bathhouse is educational and one side is more like conservation messages. The first one I started with was actually a balloon exhibit. We were picking trash on the front beach. Well, every day we pick trash on the front beach ever since I was a lifeguard. And We found so many balloons at Calmus. I don't really know why it is, like the currents, the wind, it's really windy here. So, but we find tons of those little strings, the little ribbons, and sometimes they have balloons on them, sometimes they don't. So I told my lifeguards, save all your balloons this week. We're making a display. And I got a shadow box. And I just put them all in it, and I made like a little sign that kind of explains why balloons are bad for the environment. And then after that one, I started with a shell exhibit just because I was curious about all the different like shells and organisms, and I started doing some research like just for myself. So there's like some shell shadow displays, and then there's a little like touch exhibit where kids can like pick up the shells and see what they found. Yeah, and I have a couple others too.
So you had an exhibit of cigarette butts, which I thought was interesting since Barnstable doesn't allow smoking on the beach, but it is in the parking lot. Tell us a little bit about why that's important and why you made that collage.
Yeah, okay, so cigarettes are the worst. I find them everywhere for years. I have found so many. The amount of cigarette butts we've picked up at Calmus, it's crazy. Ever since I was a lifeguard, you know, you can pick 8 hours a day and there will still be cigarette butts. Even by the time at some point someone's going to be throwing cigarette butts. But in the beginning of the season this year, I was picking up trash one day and I just found so many. And I said, okay, I'm saving these. And my lifeguards are just laughing at me. You know, here I am. I like have my gloves on. I was like taking all the cigarette butts into one bucket, and I got shadow boxes. And I just like glued them all on, and we counted 657 that I picked up in a single day. But yeah, so we don't allow it on the beaches, but we allow it in the parking lot. But I mean, they kind of fly everywhere with the like heavy winds and everything. But yeah, it was so many.
When you have done these exhibits, whether it's on the conservation side and education side for the little animals of the sea or the cigarette butts, when people stop and look at those exhibits, what are you hoping they take away from those?
Honestly, anything. I mean, whether it's their favorite little sea animal, you know, and they finally know what it is. Like, I mean, I've lived here for so long, and I had no idea about the whelk egg cases. I don't know, the little curly kind of brown, like they kind of look like scalloped potatoes in my opinion. But yesterday I was like talking to a patron, and I was telling him how like if you open up one of those little the dried out little scalloped potatoes, inside is like a perfect little tiny whelk. It's like the size of like 4 grains of sand. You know, it's tiny, but I don't know. It's just like I feel like there's just so much magic out there, and like we don't know so much. Some of the patrons, every now and then I'll hear little things like this beach is like a museum, or you know, just little things like that, and it just makes my day because I don't know if they can take away something, learn something, or maybe next time suggest something other than a balloon release, or you know, throw out their cigarette butt if they choose to smoke. You know, just or put it away responsibly. You know. I don't know.
And we noticed that you have a kindness garden here as well. Tell us a little bit of why you started that.
Oh, I just love it. You know, it's just, you know, the whole idea is so great. Like a positive message can really just impact someone's life, you know? So yeah, we started this last year in the summer, and I don't know, every now and then, actually, you probably remember last summer it was really rainy. So a lot of the times, like the lifeguards, if we had like, you know, a bunch of extra staff, we'd just be like making little kindness rocks. I just think it's so nice. I don't know. Every now and then, like people will just be all around here, kind of like looking at them. Kids will sit over here, and it's just fun.
And you talk about a little bit about the lifeguards. There's a lot of people that make the beach run.
Oh.
And one of the things that we just noticed in one of your rooms was the smile buckets that were there. What's that all about?
Yeah, so we have little mailboxes here at Calmus. It's called Send a Smile, and it's just kind of a way to say thank you, you know, or like, I really appreciated this, or any little thing, or like, you did such a great job today. We just write little positive messages to each other, and it makes each other, I don't know, work better as a team, you know, and get to know each other better. And I don't know, when you do something really good, it's nice to feel acknowledged, you know, it's just, I don't know, so.
It is. Yeah. And we love all of what you've done at Calmus, Delaney. Yeah. We wish you the best in grad school, headed off, I'm sure, probably mid-August or so.
Exactly.
So have a wonderful year, and we'll see you back here maybe next summer.
Thank you, I hope so. Thank you, guys.
Cape Harmony is Cape Cod's professional all-female a cappella group. We perform all across Cape Cod all summer long, and we just have a lot of fun singing together and live, work, playing together. Cape Harmony was founded by 2 women, one from Boston University and one from UConn, and they just wanted to spend a summer singing together with their friends, so they created this group, and 13 years later we're still singing. We're a self-run business, and yeah, making this our job. The members of Cape Harmony, I think they each would tell you something a little different, but one thing that each person gets out of Cape Harmony is the feeling of being supported by strong women. I think is something that's really important to us, and learning how to run a business and all the aspects that go into it. So it's not just being a professional musician, it's also how do you advertise, how do you publicize, how are you running your social media. So it's a very all-inclusive job. A lot of work goes into putting together our set. At the beginning of the summer, Laura reaches out to, she's a music director, she reaches out to all of the women and she helps them pick their summer solo, and she makes sure that we have a song representing each decade or so from the 1930s on, so we have a well-rounded set that is appealing to all ages. And then as far as practicing goes, we rehearse once a day for 2 hours a day. At the beginning of the summer, we used to rehearse for 3 times for 2 hours a day, so that was 6-hour rehearsals, which was a lot, but it was worth it. And then we perform pretty much every day all summer long, so we are constantly singing, but it's a great time. We have a weekly summer concert schedule, so on Mondays we're at the Federated Church in Hyannis. On Wednesdays we're at the Cotuit Federated Church in Cotuit. On Thursdays we're in St. Christopher's Episcopal Church in Chatham, and then on Fridays we're at the First Congregational Church in Falmouth. And that is going through all the summer. We're there every week until I think it's about August. I think August 17th is our last day or something like that. And then we also perform in different places on Cape Cod. We're in Harwich and Dennis and Pecasset, just anywhere we find a place we can sing. Yes, Cape Harmony is available for private booking. So we are available to sing at clam bakes, birthday parties, retirement parties, graduation parties, any kind of celebratory event or anything really, we are available to sing. So the Cape Harmony website includes a alumni page, so you can check out all of our cool alumni and what they're up to today. It has our whole summer schedule, so that includes the special shows, the weekly shows, all of that stuff, so you can find exactly where we are on a daily basis. It also has our link to our Member Mondays, so every Monday we put out a video of one of these lovely ladies and an interview of them, and they're really fun to watch. Maren does a great job editing those videos. And then you can also find our newest addition to the website, which is we're selling happy birthday videos. So you can send us your information, who you want the recipient to be, if you have a special message, and we will sing happy birthday for them and we'll send them a video for their birthday. But yeah, that's the Cape Harmony website. And the address is capeharmony.org.
Just the way you are. Just the way you are. Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine. We never could have come this far. I took the good times, I'll take the bad times, I'll take you just the way you are. I need to know that you will always be the same old someone that I knew. What will it take till you believe in me the way that I believe in you? I never want to work hard. Oh, I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are. I said I love you, and that's forever. I love you just the way you are. Thanks. Girl, close your eyes, let that rhythm get into you. Don't try to fight it, there ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind, lay back and groove with mine. You gotta feel that heat, then we can ride the boogie, share that heat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you into day. I wanna rock with you all night, we're gonna rock the night away. Out on the floor, there ain't nobody there but us. Girl, when you dance, there's a magic, that must be love. Just take it slow, 'cause we've got so far to go. When you feel that heat, then we can ride the boogie, share that heat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you into day. I wanna rock with you all night, we're gonna rock the night away. And when the groove is set and calm, you know that love